Alrighty, so this is the Legend of Fat Bastard, Part 7. The morbidly obese island prison start. You know, we've gotten pretty far away from our roots, I suppose. You know, we really haven't been back to the island prison for a while. We did visit our homeboys in the western prison, the landlocked prison, and we discovered that unlike on the island prison, there were quite a lot of police robots and things still active. And we had a grand old time killing those. Surprisingly, didn't come into too many dangerous situations there. But we did destroy a lot of robots, so off camera I disassembled those. And one thing that I did was, I got a number of solar cells off of them, so I was able to make a solar panel. And man, does it recharge quick. Like, we made a solar panel with the solar cells and the other scrap and stuff we got off the robots, and I went and I stuck it right above the storage battery, so now the storage battery in the car is almost completely full of charge, which is great. With the vehicle off, we're charging up the battery, so I essentially have endless electricity now. And if I were to go back over there and farm some more robots, I could make a ton of solar panels if I wanted to, but I don't think we really need to do that. A couple other things I did off camera. I set up this sort of crappy little farm. I wanted to sort of test out exactly how the farming system in this game worked. We did this a few in-game days ago and nothing has grown, which I guess makes sense, but I am curious how long it takes. We didn't put any fertilizer down. All we did was we planted some cattails, which are some plants that grow in the swamp. There's a swamp down this way, see? It's a bunch of salt water, and then there's these little cattail plants. What's interesting that I learned is that you can take the cattails, you can cut them up, and you can turn the rhizomes that come from them into starch. See, cattail rhizome takes two to make one starch, and then once you have the starch, you can turn the cattail starch into actual flour. So you don't need wheat to make bread, because once you have this once you have flour from the starch, you can use that to make all kinds of bread. You could make waste bread, which is something I haven't done yet, which has 80 calories but not very much nutrition. This has a bunch of random crap in it. You can make regular bread. You need yeast for that, which we happen to have some of, and I tried that out, and it seemed to raise my hidden health stat quite a bit. For the couple days after that I did this, it's it said something along the lines of, you feel great today, so that's a sign that your health is high. Juicy Pear says, I have a buddy who on numerous times has jumped into a swamp to harvest cattails. Hilarious sight. I assume you mean in real life? That sounds pretty, tell them to watch out for ticks and gators. Anyway, you can also make flatbread if you lack yeast. Apparently yeast in this game is really annoying to make. Even though you can technically harvest yeast from nature if you want to, in real life, just in the wilderness. In this game, you have to have a glass flask and some existing yeast and some kind of sugar or forest honey, something for the yeast to eat, I guess, to grow. And I don't know how to get glass flasks. We don't have any. I assume we need some kind of glass blowing book to teach us how to make those, or we need to find them on our own. So I'm not worried about that. It's just that we're kind of completely out of food, and our guy is technically very hungry right now, and we're only normal weight. One more thing is I built this root cellar finally, so we can put, once we have some food, we can throw it into this root cellar, and things will last a long time. Anyway, we're going to go to the laboratory. We saw a fungus man over there, and we shot him, and he had like a sack of nasty fungal juices, which apparently is quite tasty secretly. So maybe we'll find some more of those dudes. I did a couple things with the vehicle. I replaced the wooden boat hulls that got destroyed by the turret with metal boat hulls. We also took off the doors on the back, and now I have a telescopic crane on the back, which will serve the same purpose but better as the forklift that I had, you know, formerly attached to the front of it. With that said, the telescopic crane, if we look at it, oh wow, we should make an internal boom crane. It's got way more jacking quality and way more lifting. But anyway, the telescopic crane has 7 jacking and 7 lifting, so that occurs to me that I really don't, I don't really need to carry around this scissor jack anymore. But on the other hand, I might be away from my vehicle, so it's fine. I'm kind of curious, can we make the boom? No, we can't. Okay. So off we go, going on an adventure. So the lab that we almost died in is over here. Oh shit. I missed the bush that we just drove into. Looks like everything's fine though, I guess. That's right, this RV is a boat. Secretly. We can drive it over the water. This will never not be hilarious to me, the fact that we can just sort of drive directly into the water and keep going. But surprisingly pretty easy to set up in this game, to be honest. I mean, I don't even really need the metal hulls on here. You could do it, you know, with just some wood and some nails with wooden hulls, and it would, you know, you could make this modification to almost any car that you wanted to if you had the time and the materials in game. You really don't need much farmed up skill or anything. Okay, here we go. So this time, we stop the car. And so if you were here last time, I was parked roughly here, but my realism, yeah, I know, right? So I was parked over here, and you see all this wood lying around, you know, from the hull getting shot right off by that freaking, you know, turret that was aiming for my head. By the way, we're fully healed. We cannot deconstruct the stone wall. We have a stone wall and a closed metal door. Oh man, did I leave my pick behind? No way. Surely not. I actually left my pick back at the house. Alright, that's my fault. We'll make a quick... Sorry. So it'll only take a minute. So we have a pickaxe that we were using to break through the door, break through the metal, break through the walls if we want to, break through the little stone, the silly little stone. Oh shit! I just hit the wait button way too many times, and we just smashed the front of our car. I destroyed one of my wheels. That was dumb. Was trying to speed back to my house, and then I did that. Smashed into the prison where we started. So, oops. Might have to fix that real quick. My bad. You know, I really think there should be, supposedly they put a fast travel system into this game, but I don't, I can't imagine that it actually works well. I imagine it'll probably make you wreck your car if you try to use it in a vehicle, if you even can use it in a vehicle. Okay, stop driving. Where did I leave my pickaxe? I'm so confused. No way, was it in my car the whole time? Oh Jesus, it was. Why didn't it show up on the search? Okay, well that's pretty silly, but check this out. This is probably an interface bug, or maybe it's not. If you press the capital V key, you're supposed to be able to search for things, right? In your general vicinity, whatever you can see. If I do that, it doesn't actually pick up on anything that's inside of a container. So I don't know if there's like a different way to look that up, but wow, that's okay. Let's just fix this real quick. So to repair the frame, we actually need a wheel to repair the wide wheel, but we have a couple extra wheels on this thing, so just gonna okay. I guess I'm gonna have to add another forklift arm. To this car over here. No, that doesn't have enough lifting. We're going to need to add the telescoping cantilever. And this is just going to be really convenient for us to make modifications to this vehicle anyway, so just make one of those real fast, pretty easy. I wonder if I'll even have to move the car. Something that really gets me is when you put it into the car, it's called a telescopic crane, but when you create it, it's called a telescopic cantilever. I think that something this game could definitely benefit from is oh yeah, I know that you can press A in the advanced inventory, eat my ferret. That's just like the tiles only right around you, though. I wanted to see like anything you could see in your general vicinity. But yeah, I mean, something I think that would definitely benefit this game is if there was like a standardization of the names of things, you know. Okay, so we're gonna have to start this car up. Stop driving. Now the lever should be in the right spot. Jacking 5. I know it's got to be 4 tiles away. I don't know if this is going to be... That might cut it. Looks like that's 4 tiles away, or less. We just want to take off this wheel. What the hell? Tool with jacking 5, strength 245. Hold on, let me take out this aisle, and I want to be able to look at... We're going to learn this together. It says 7 jacking quality, 7 lifting quality, an extendable cantilever crane. If it is in your line of sight... Okay, it has to be within my line of sight. Interesting. Okay, well... That's easy enough to fix. Just take off the boards here. Great. That was not the problem. Curious. Really interesting. Jacking 5 or strength 245. 1, 2, 3, 4. What if I physically need to be closer? Okay, there we go. So physically, you have to be 4 tiles away. Cataclysm? Oh, Cataclysm. Well, you know, it's not my fault that I destroyed my car, and by that I mean it actually is my fault that I destroyed my car in the first 5 minutes of streaming. I was just trying to get back to the house really quickly. Cataclysm. Alright, we'll take off these extra wheels that we added, and we will throw a wheel on here. Sweet. And you know what, just for fun, we will, we're going to add a heavy-duty panel, which will very much increase the size, or rather the weight of the car probably, but that's fine. Okay. Great. Just want to get this wheel out of the way. Alright, everything's fixed up. Looks kind of awkward here. I guess I could take it off and then put it back on. See, what's interesting is if I put on a panel, and this is something I'm not really sure how this works yet, so check it out, heavy-duty quarter panel. Fat bastard, how fat are we talking? He started out maybe 400 pounds to Homer Raider. Now he's much lighter. He's actually average size now. But anyway, check this out. It says choose shape, and this is all completely, you know, it's completely aesthetic, so to speak. But I do want it to not look like crap. I think this is the shape that we want, so that the tile will look good. Yeah. Looks a little awkward next to my non-heavy duty stuff, but that's fine. Does it still swim? Yeah, it does. Okay. Well, we have our pickaxe. We actually had it the whole time. I am just dumb. Well, I'm not dumb. I just am still wrestling with the sort of interface system of this game. And we're gonna make it over to the laboratory, and we're gonna show that turret who's boss. I am kind of curious how big this lab is going to be, considering that it was revealed on the map apparently when we started. But you know, I happen to know that there are hidden ones too that can show up, and I'm wondering if the hidden ones are bigger. But that may not be the case. I really don't know. Now, if I wanted to, I could have made like some kind of hilarious sort of breaching vehicle, throw an engine in like a 4-tile long car with just this super heavy-duty frame type stuff on it, and maybe like some kind of spike on the end. Maybe that would have been good. But instead what we've got is I trained up my throwing to 2, which should be good enough, and then I brought along 3 EMP grenades. Gonna get our pickaxe. So sadly I'm gonna have to bust through my own handiwork here, so this might take a moment. Try the tree branch method? Yeah, I guess I could have done that, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to do that if we are unable to kill the turret this way. Because I think this is I think this might be the best, like the closest spot that we could use to destroy this thing. So, alright, start running, Activate EMP grenade. Run. Yeah, see, we're really close. Hostile detected. I think I have time to throw. We're going to find out. Throw. He doesn't shoot at me. That landed perfectly. I didn't hear an explosion. But he's gone. You can throw grenades while peeking. Well, that sounds broken as hell. That's actually a mechanic I haven't shown off. If you hit the capital, if you hold shift and hit X, and then you hit a direction, I'm not actually here, right? But I can see what's here. If you can throw grenades while peeking, that is hilarious, and I'm going to abuse the hell out of that. Oh man, this thing had some ammo. Holy shit, we have 5.56 for days. Alright, we've got a nice little bug here. Tried removing item from object, which did not contain it. I think we're gonna get a little owned on the ammo, perhaps. Oh no, we still got it. Okay, some kind of problem with yeah, some kind of problem with removing all this ammo, but whatever. So we have 1,556 there, and we have like 500 in the old inventories. So yeah, we've got as much ammo as we're ever going to need. I should also probably talk about this M16 that I have. I actually improved it. I threw a brass catcher on it, so that the spent brass that gets shot out will kind of go right into my inventory rather than onto the ground. I also threw a 40mm pipe launcher on it, which is built to fit 40mm grenades. And I thought this might allow me to launch EMP grenades out of my rifle, but it turns out I can only basically do the tear gas, so kind of a shame. Anyway, this also gives us an outrageous amount of black powder if we want it. We could cut apart the Autonomous Crows 2 turret, and that would give me an M249, which is a machine gun. I think I'm pretty happy with my M16. It's less wasteful on the ammo, you know. But we'll drag the rest of this out here. Just so I don't forget. Yeah, I'll notice all that when I leave. All right, cool. We are inside the lab. I didn't bring any food with me, which is perhaps a problem. But there is a swamp nearby, and there's a town nearby. So, like, I could make a quick run over here to get food. I was kind of hoping that there would be... I was kind of hoping that there would be mushroom dudes, like, right in here, because we found one right outside the lab. But, I think that may have come from underground. Like, there are Z-level bugs in this game, right? And sometimes things just kind of cross from one Z-level to another, as far as I can tell. But, I don't know, I'm sure we'll find something in here. Okay, we are inside the lab. We are raiding government property, and there's already, you know, there's popcorn on the ground. There's apparently some shelled nuts of some variety. So we're good. It's also a fire axe, damn. One of the best weapons in the game, just sitting out. But yeah, we have a lot of zombies. So let's equip our pike. There's gas, by the way, this hazy cloud. We don't want to walk into that. We don't, you know, we have the technology, we have the skill to make a rebreather mask. XL rebreather mask. Can we just make a regular one? I think we could, but we don't have the recipe memorized. We could make one of these, and I think that would save us from dying or getting poisoned. But we don't have that. and I'm definitely not going back for that. So the solution instead is to just not. Also, I think I took my gloves off at some point, my winter gloves, because my guy was getting hot, which could be a mistake because now he's kind of cold. I know that some laboratories can actually be like icy, and the lower you go, the more freezing it is. So if that starts to be a problem, then we'll deal with it as we get to it. Oh, what's this? Paper wrapper, apple cider, dark cola. Okay. So there's going to be zombies in here. Honestly, that we don't know what to expect. Like, there could be, it's possible that like a giant ant colony can intersect one of these places. You know, all kinds of messed up stuff can happen in these labs. But what we're in here for is we're trying to become transhuman, so to speak. There's a lot of interesting stuff in here. That's hold on a second. I'll take this crawling zombie corpse and move it. There we go. I want to make sure I'm not leaving any corpses behind. I don't want to get ambushed. So anyway, yeah, there's like mutation stuff in here, like various potions, I guess you could call it, mutagens. You know, the scientists were doing genetic experiments, and you can make yourself more human than human, so to speak. Also, there are CBMs, which we haven't gotten to play with those much yet. Bionics. We can perhaps make our dude... Wait, what was that? Heard plop? I've never heard a plop before. That's, I don't know what makes that sound. A blob, perhaps? Plog. Plog champ. Okay. Test tube rack. Clean water. Just drink that. Some ammonia. You're going to find a lot of lab equipment and a lot of lab stuff in here. Okay, we've already found some mutagen. Some purifier. So I know that purifier takes away a random mutation. And I know that mutagen gives you a random mutation. But then there's other stuff, like here's some beast serum, spider serum. And we can learn to make these things ourselves if we find the right documents. So we're going to take all the serums. What do you guys think? Should I shoot up with the... Should I shoot up with some of these serums? I don't think I have a syringe yet. Although we'll find one pretty quickly, probably. I think we're going to take the mutagen and see what happens. But I don't know if it'll let me. It says test tube of beast serum, glass flask of mutagen. I think the flasks we can just drink, the test tubes we need a syringe for. Okay, we drank the flask and we actually got I think a bad mutation, sunlight dependent. See, I took the robust genetics trait, so we should have gotten a good mutation, but we rolled poorly. And so now we feel very sluggish when not in direct sunlight. You suffer a 5% drop in speed in the shade, and a 10% drop in speed when in the dark. That's a very bad mutation. Okay. Can I even... Yeah, it won't let me take the beast to the spider serum. I assume the beast serum makes you more like a beast. Seems very non-specific. And the spider serum makes you more like a spider. But we need syringes for that. We could take this purifier, which would take away that sunlight-dependent trait, I think. I don't think that it can remove bad traits that you started with. But we'll save that for now, I think, as long as I have my trusty flashlight here. Some Thorazine, antipsychotic, I don't think we need that. just explore these rooms. I know these ones can have, like the fridge can have stuff in it. Up here, looks like we got like a centrifuge. I mean, I guess I could take the micro centrifuge. Maybe we could use that for making mutagen. I've never made mutagen before, so I don't know how it works. But I think you need an awful lot of random tools. Some pliers just on the table in here. There's a teleport pad, which if I recall correctly, could just teleport you somewhere random on the floor, which we don't want to do. Okay, here's something interesting. This is the barracks entrance. So here's our first computer. So if we hack this computer, we can get into the barracks. I bet you that there are tough things in there. And if there's a turret, I'm going to be very sad if we open up this door and there's just a turret waiting for me. So we're going to close this door, and if there's a turret, I'm going to run here and then run here. So we're going to bypass the security. Your body is damaged by the electric shock. Okay. We failed to bypass the security. Now, while I was off camera, I read both of my computer science manuals, but apparently that didn't make us an expert hacker, despite the fact that we have 5 computer skill. There is a thing called an electro hack, which you're not seeing on my craft menu right now because I don't have my book with me, but can't quite use it yet, I guess. We could just smash our way in here. There's going to be guns in here, possibly really useful ones, but that's not really what we're in here for, so maybe we'll come back to it. I don't want to really waste time trying to beat down that door. I'm going to cut up this blanket real fast, though, to get some rags. I want to make some makeshift bandages, which I guess is taking a good long while. Oh shit! I forgot to I forgot to stop using my flashlight. Oops. We still have the cell phone battery. We actually still have a light battery for the flashlight. I'm gonna have to not do that again, though. There we go. Okay. Stick with the cell phone for now. Okay, let's just make some bandages real quick. So I think we're hearing some robots begging for death. There are indeed failed cyborgs in this facility, so... Alright, let's use our makeshift bandages if I can find them. There we go. Should be under drugs. There it is. So every single piece of our body got busted up. But we're good enough at first aid by now that this minor damage will be very easily healed by even the lowest level of bandage. This was just from the shock, by the way, from that computer. Okay, turn off the cell phone light, which drains slower. Turn on the flashlight, which has a higher range. I wonder if I should just be sort of diving down to the bottom here. But then again, I can find things. I can find the bionics, the CBMs. I can find them just in this place. Also, what is this? Computer Science 101. This is like a... Huh. Why is this just for fun? That's weird. Collection of reference data and formulae pertinent to many technical disciplines. If poring over tables of chemical and physical data is your thing, this is the book for you. That neither sounds fun nor useful. I seriously doubt. I'm just gonna look at it real quick. Reading this, so it literally just reduces your morale and does nothing for you. Why does that item exist? Anyway, this is some kind of library. We're going to see if there's anything valuable in here. Robots for Fun and Profit. A rare book on the design of robots. Hell yeah. That's handy. Might boost morale for bibliophiles, that's fair. Although there's so many of these other types of books around that just sort of boost morale naturally. Tripitaka, just for fun. Buddhist writings. Here's what you need for the real apocalypse, is the Dungeon Master's Guide. Apparently we're all the way into 6th edition by the time the Cataclysm happens. Perhaps it's Oh, wait a minute, this is interesting. This is not just for fun. Does it give you speaking skill or something? Can bring your speaking skill to 5. Something tells me that reading a Dungeon Master's Guide is not going to necessarily make you any better at speaking, but okay. Maybe a little bit. Depends who you're talking to. That's true. That's true. Alright, First Responder Handbook. That's really good for first aid. Homebrewer's Bible. That's nice. So we found some useful books in here that will give us a lot of handy recipes. And in fact will give us a lot of handy skill as well. Walks up to stranger, roll initiative. So we'll pull this, I'm just going to take these books back to the car. Actually, I'm tempted to, why don't we just look and take a look at what these things actually give us. So this is huge. Robots for Fun and Profit, it's massive. We can make a recharging station now, which I think is something you can stick into your car that can recharge universal power stuff. We can upgrade solar panels. We can, I think in this game the word hack is used to describe little tiny flying robots. So we can make a few of those. Apparently we can have one that carries an EMP even, or C4. We can make our own turrets. Fascinating. This is a really useful book. Outrageously useful book. I don't see the fancy thing that I'm always hearing about, the, what do you call it, the control laptop. That one I don't see, but being able to make our own turrets is kind of crazy. Machinery Handbook. I should probably drop some stuff. It doesn't do anything? Just fun -2? I don't understand. Curious. Homebrewer's Bible gives us a bunch of alcohol that we can make, and the First Responder Handbook tells us how to craft anesthetic and a few other things. It also takes our first aid very, very high, if I recall correctly, but our first aid is only 2. We need to have 3 for that to do anything for us to be able to use it. So that's unfortunately out. Let's just go ahead and put this stuff in the trunk for later. I want my gun though. Okay, back inside. Deal with all that stuff later. So this has already been well worth it. But man, we wanna become like a post-human abomination. So let's keep looking for these mutagens, keep looking for these CBMs, and oh hello. Impaired hearing. These are zombie dogs. Third burst. We don't need third burst. We're just going to use semi-auto here. Gun down the dog. In fact, I have so much ammo that I think we're going to be very wasteful. I mean, really, are we going to run out? The answer is no. And it'll save us time switching to our pike. Shooting caged puppers. Those are not ordinary dogs. If they were like cute, normal dogs, we would not do such a thing. Truly a bastard. These were horrible zombie dogs. They weren't, I was putting them out of their misery. I'm a hero, actually. Okay. So here's a problem with CDDA's design. If you look at these labs, they are just massive. Really, really big, and almost completely, what do you call it, like procedurally generated. They're so big, some of them, that the forgetting mechanic with the map will kick in before you're even done with them. So it's kind of a problem I've found in my tests off camera. You'll get lost very easily. The biggest problem, I think, is that the layout is just, it's very confusing because it's been procedurally generated. Oh, hey, fat zombies. There's a turret up north. We get to test that peeking trick. Computer world. Can bring your computer skill to 1. We already have that much, so we will drop computer world. We will unload this flashlight. We're getting some batteries, that's handy. Some Xanax, we don't need that. Interesting. Bionic vault, hey baby. So this is where we want to be. There's going to be some kind of bionic in there. But with that said, we heard like a ton of noise behind there. So there's got to be a turret shooting something in there. So it's a bit of a problem. I think we're going to try to hack this thing. We get shocked again. So this is interesting. If I use my pickaxe to smash through here, I think we're just going to have the problem of a turret right in my face. So I'm not actually sure what the quote-unquote optimal way of dealing with this would be. Let's take a look around real quick. Oh yeah, there's vending machines in here. We brought money, so we can get this junk food if we want, although we're sort of allergic to it, so we're going to have to stick with the things that are a little more healthy if we want to eat stuff out of the, you know. Hey look, an irradiated banana. Delicious. Cast iron frying pan. Pickled fish. Hell yeah. Just leave that, we'll come back for it if we get hungry again. Dude's gonna get fat again down here, it's too much stuff to eat. Alright, so yeah, I'm just trying to think, like, I smashed through this, let's say there's a turret just, you know, right there, which I think there is. And then what happens, you know? We run away again. It can probably still see me in both of these locations. I'm 100% safe right here. Okay, we're gonna have to get clever. My guy has high strength, so it is not out of the question for me to just grab some stuff and do some shenanigans. I indeed made it into the lab safely. I brought back some EMP grenades, and that apparently was basically all we needed to do. Okay, so I'm dragging this thing. This is a locker. I think if I go here, it won't be able to see me. Watching the VOD where I got blasted at the entrance. Yeah, that was no good. That was not a great show of skill. All right, can I use my? Is it possible for me to use my my pickaxe in the dark? It is. Heard chunk 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 stop mining. So here's a fun little issue with the game. I am currently being interrupted by the sound of my own mining. My guy hit the wall, or the door I guess in this case. He heard it made like a clanging noise, and he thought, wow, man, that's a suspicious noise, should I stop mining? This is like such an obvious thing that you could fix. I mean, this should not have made it into the game, is the thing. Like, if you're performing an action and that action is making noise, it shouldn't prompt you to interrupt. And the strangest thing about this is, like, I'm trying to think of this from a programming perspective, and it kind of blows my mind that they wouldn't have noticed this. But we'll ignore such problems, I think. One problem is we're not going to be able to tell if there's a turret in there because we didn't have a light on. When I was trying to play this earlier, I kept passing out while trying to go to sleep. Were you sick, or did you start with like a robot that had like the acid bionic? Because there's a few things that can do damage to you while you're trying to sleep or knock you down. You were sick, yeah. Okay, we're peeking. There is indeed a turret. All right, so check it out. The turret can't see me from here. We're going to wear the EMP. We're going to activate it. We're going to peek. And we're going to see if we can... Oh, damn! He was right. I think it was Lord of All Cheese that suggested this. A pretty accurate, good name there. He said that I can peek and then throw while peeking. Also, apparently I can peek into other Z levels on stairs, which is also really useful. Now, I am a little worried that this EMP grenade is going to destroy all of the bionics around the turret. I don't think that's what happens, but man, that'll suck if it does. We're gonna find out. Okay, that grenade, that was a bad place for the grenade. From the east, you hear a clang. This is weird. I'm waiting and it's not going off. Is it possible for a grenade to be a dud? Oops. That's really strange. Okay, whatever. We'll use another one. Activate. Throw. Did it again. Interesting. Let's go around. I think that maybe this quote-unquote clever plan I had is I might need to move that locker. I don't think I can do that without... I think I've actually screwed myself, is what I'm trying to say. Because if I try to move it, I'm going to get shot. Almost definitely. It takes like a few turns, a few seconds to move a locker. Move a locker forward and crush turret against wall. I don't know if the locker even blocks the shots, to be honest. Like, that may have been... Can anybody verify that for me? Turn off my light? That's true, that might... Okay, we did it. Thank you for the advice. I think that in a current version of the game, I think in a current version of the game, a more current version of the game, they can see in the dark. Could probably hide behind the locker then. Yeah, I don't use crouching enough, and I should. Anyway, let's try to throw our... Well, let's activate it, and then try to throw our EMP grenade now. I don't get it, man. Do we just suck? Look at it. We can't throw more than one step in front of our face. You appear to suck at throwing, my dude. Maybe indirect throwing is more difficult. Yeah, there's stuff in the way. This is set up in such an ugly-ass way. Do you mean throwing from peeking? Because, yeah, it might be. Haha! We landed at that time. Can you place items while peeking? That's a great question. Let's see. No. You mean like the capital D, like drop? That'd be kind of interesting. Oh, dude, what the hell's happening? This has got to be glitching out because this thing is not, you know, none of my grenades are going off. Someone explain. Like it was ticking down, but only when it was in my inventory. And I definitely threw it when I was not peeking. I thought maybe that might be glitching it out. But like, I bet you we can just wait 5 minutes. Okay, we waited 5 minutes. Crouching. Okay, so stuff spills from the locker. We can actually do this. Turn off your light and fire into the darkness. No, I think the wacky plan that I think Doesn't He put forward as a joke has worked for us. Believe it or not. Okay. So, a lot of CBMs. Take these out of the danger. Throw away everything that's not a CBM. We'll check those out here in a second. Unfortunately, there's one right here. Gasoline fuel cell CBM, that sounds useful. So, see, look, it's ticking. Can I activate this? Already pulled the pin. Try throwing it instead. That's really interesting. The thing is, we've used, literally on this stream, we used EMPs, so the only thing I did differently was I threw them while peeking, so I have to wonder if something about that broke those particular grenades. Like as soon as you throw one while peeking, set them up, then grab them while blow up in your inventory. That's a good idea. In fact, I'm going to drop these two right here. Yeah, the range on these things is actually quite good. So we can just move them. I mean, this is like almost hardcore actual cheating, but if it's glitched out, you kind of have to. So we moved it on the floor, which when you're doing that, the timer doesn't tick down. Okay, there we go, it exploded. Computer console is rendered non-functional. Well, that is just interesting. Look at this, EMP grenade active. Would love to know what's going on with all that. But I guess we'll just haul these around with our new CPMs, and we'll try to cheese with them. Just kind of run in with them in our inventory, because EMP grenades don't hurt me. You know, the worst thing they do to the player is, as far as I know, they can just drain your CBM power, which we have none. So let's just pull this robot over here, because we're gonna, off camera, I'm gonna pull a bunch of robots, turrets and things, disassemble them, and maybe make some of my own. Make sure they don't hurt your CBMs. They do not, because this gasoline CBM is fine. And it was definitely in the blast radius. All right, let's look over our CBMs. This should be fun. This is, we're finally seeing some like interesting late game content. It took a while, and normally, I mean, we actually kind of rushed to it. Now, in the base game, and this was a hugely controversial change that a lot of people didn't like. In the base game, without any mods, there's a thing called an auto dock, right? And it's like a machine that cuts you up and puts your CBM in you. And there's a bunch of stuff you have to get to use it. Like you have to go find some anesthetic and things like that. Although in the lab, that's usually right next to it. But the point is that the big thing that was controversial is that they changed it to where no matter how good you are at first aid, you can just randomly die while using the auto dock. And to me, this is a huge game design topic that you could talk about. Because, I mean, why would you want to lock your late game content behind an instant death dice roll? You know, why would you do that? So, right, I mean, it's like a save or die. You know, except in D&D, save or dies exist because your life is a resource. You can revive yourself. There's no reviving yourself in CDDA. You start a new character. So I disabled that by using something called Safe Auto Dock, and I advise you to do the exact same thing because I just don't think it's a very fun mechanic. So let's look at what we found. We found a cerebral booster CBM. Bionic coprocessors are implanted in the brain, giving a +2 to intelligence. That's useful. Straight stat bonus. It's not flashy, but unpretentiously good. Cranial flashlight. We can put a flashlight in between our eyes, I guess. Okay. Ethanol burner. If we get drunk, then we will gain power for our CPMs. Facial distortion CBM. I guess this lets me... I guess this lets me make myself look prettier so NPCs will like me more. Gasoline fuel cell. I think that we just drink gasoline for power, okay? Power storage CBM, this is important because you need these to actually have power for your CBMs. It's just a battery, essentially, and I think you could install as many of these as you want, as many of those as you can find. Scent Vision CBM lets the user visually sense their own scent, making it possible for them to recognize their surroundings, even in complete darkness. Interesting. Well, we're going to use the Cerebral Booster one first, probably, because that's the kind of most straightforward, useful thing. Mutations greater than bionics. Prisoner containment entrance. Well, I don't really want to fight high-level enemies, but just to show off for the case of the for the sake of the stream. Hey, we finally hacked something properly. Unlock entrance. Hack the system. We actually had to hack it twice. Quit. Okay. Uh-oh. What was that? We saw something spooky. Okay, that's a shriekling. This heavily mutated child zombie twitches and flails. I think I'm going to reload. What's this now, Lord of All Cheese? I looked on GitHub. It looks like the grenade not exploding bug was fixed already. Apparently, it had to do with the coordinates of underground locations. Okay, so I guess your EMP grenades will probably not explode in the lab unless you update. Oh, I'm worried about updating and breaking my save. You can only have about 2,000 bionic power now? That's no fun. I liked the idea of becoming like an infinitely strong robot cyborg man. Okay, so this is a grabber zombie. He's in a little cell. I wonder if can I shoot him through the reinforced glass? Yes, I can, but it only does 2 damage. I don't think he's like bullet resistant. I think that's just the reinforced glass stopping me. Power cost of bionics has been reduced, though it's a very recent change. Huh. Messenger bag, briefcase, lighter, a bunch of stuff we don't need. Is there any reason for me to fight these guys, like, at all? Containment control. Well, we're not... I mean, why would I let these guys out, honestly? Do I get anything for letting these guys out? Oh, what's this? Oh, the Shrieker zombie. He's gonna yell at me. Well, let's let him out. We came this far. Console shuts down. I think that means we failed to hack it. Well, I'm not going to waste my time pickaxing in here. I see that there's like a, there's a doorway up here. that maybe there's like a reward in there, but I doubt it, you know? It seems like this is just a place filled with enemies. So forget that. Let's take our CBMs and put them next to the turret. The reward is 40 shocker brutes. Yeah! I don't know, man. We have the M16. We could possibly do okay against all that. I mean, we're at a very interesting part of the game where we have as much ammo as we'd ever want. You know, the sheer luxury of that feels crazy. Alright, so our real goal now, you know, these CBMs don't do jack for us unless we can find an auto dock. So our real goal is to find an auto dock in here and then install some of these CBMs, but also we want to find some mutagens, because I'm told that mutagens are better. Let's turn off our flashlight. Are better than technology. So let's just see. There will be an auto dock room in here. I'm like 99% sure every lab has some. So this place is already getting bigger than I would like. I think I found it downstairs earlier. Yeah, there it is. Whoa, whoa, whoa! The EMPs exploded under my feet, so that kind of verifies what Lord of All Cheese just said. I guess that because the coordinates changed to something that the game liked better, we dragged our grenades into a different part of the underground. Right, exactly, and whatever the bug was sort of resolved itself, at least in this part of the map. So that is interesting. Whoa. What's going on? Being attacked by little blobbies. These guys, can I even shoot them? Does that do anything? It does 20 damage. Splits in two. There's so many of them. There's so many blobs. I think we're going to need to use our pike. Can they even damage me? Oh my god. Am I going to get killed by blobs here? Can't open doors. Heard plop. I don't want to get plopped on. They're gone. No, they're over here. Give blobs the caution you would in CDDA, so they're actually dangerous? Because they don't seem to be doing any damage to me. Man, there are a lot of them. Good God, they're breeding. That is a lot of blobs. I think that like once you get them down to small, you can splatter them into items, blob globs. Which I think might be mutagenic. I don't know. But I tell you, my stamina's not so good. Fast weapons are best. You have a combat knife. I have a butcher knife and a steak knife. The only fast thing I have is my M16, and I'm not really concerned about saving ammo, so we could just reload this bad boy and switch firing modes. Hey, you know what? I wonder if I wonder if the 40mm tear gas grenade would work against them. Probably just end up tear gassing myself. I think I'm gonna. You need at least launchers too to use this 40mm pipe launcher. Interesting. Oh, I have a bug for you. Check this out. If I switch the firing mode, this is a very unfun bug. If it works the way I think it does. If I switch the firing mode to my pipe launcher, but then I don't have enough launcher skill to use it, which I didn't know that was a problem. I didn't know that was a requirement. You go to fire and it says you can no longer fire, and I cannot change the firing mode on this thing anymore. So I'm just stuck with an unusable rifle. Wow, what a bug! I don't think there's a way I can remove the pipe launcher. That's kind of a way around it, but Damn, dude, that's a pretty bad bug. Okay. So yeah, this is tearing these guys up. Close the door. Nice. And again, we have all the ammo we'd ever want, and this is before the update that requires gun cleaning. So it's really no big deal for me to stand here and fire a bunch. I imagine that if I was playing that version of the game, then our gun would have already jammed and become useless. So yeah, I really don't think these small blobs can touch us. But perhaps the bigger ones can. Certainly it's helping that we have such large amounts of armor on plate mail, which, by the way, I repaired my plate armor. I also made something called a gambeson, which I didn't know what that was, so credit to CDDA for teaching me a new new word. It's a thick jacket of quilted fabric designed to be worn underneath mail or other armor, or worn on its own if you can't afford proper armor. So we made one of those to stick under our plate mail. We repaired our trusty briefs, which we've been wearing for months. The plus means that we've reinforced them, so we have the most defensive pair of briefs you could ever possibly have. And we did the same thing to a few of our other things, like our travel pack and the raincoat. That happened off screen, though. Very wasteful use of ammo here again, but you know, hell, we probably have another 2,000 rounds of this stuff sitting around in various places. So, I mean, I struggle to imagine the. Wait, what's this now? Did that say your body aches? Yeah, it says your body aches at the bottom there. Why does my body ache? What is causing me to be in pain, I wonder? It's odd. Yeah, we'll just keep reloading. I'm the turret now. But I have to wonder how many of these things. Exactly how many of these things are there? We've killed quite a few. But here's the good news: is I think that the crap these dudes drop, the blob, see the globs. I think that those are like a major component in the mutagen crafting. Now I'm not actually positive about that. We're gonna find out, of course. But with some luck, that means that we have sort of bypassed one of the requirements by finding all this stuff. I could be entirely wrong about that, by the way. It makes sense, though, doesn't it? You know, if the blob is supposed to be the sort of mutagenic source of all the zombies. I'm sick? I don't think I'm sick. I do have ringing ears. Yeah, Donimo, I don't think this is an ice lab. I just, at some point off screen, I took off my winter gloves, and I'm just not wearing gloves is the thing. We could make some real fast. Like I found a, let's see, over here. Yeah, why don't we just put on some gloves real fast? Somewhere down here, I cut up a blanket. And I should, if I can find where that was, it's probably this room. Yeah, there we go. If I could find where this is right here, I can make some light gloves real quick. But yeah, I don't think it's an ice lab. I think it's just because I don't have any gloves on whatsoever. There we go. Hey, that's better. See? Thanks for reminding me. Whoa. That is a broken cyborg. Gun his ass down. Okay, so this is interesting. I can show this off. Let me put on my cell phone light. Smash these zombie dog corpses that are inside of this sort of laser dissector thing from Resident Evil. Take a look around here. Guess they were growing some hops inside. Abusing your eardrums makes your body ache. Well, I could put on my noise-canceling headgear. I would just have to take off my great helm so my body doesn't ache. I need to find some earplugs. Anyway, what I was going to show off is we have the cell phone. What we're going to do is we're going to dissect. We're going to dissect this broken cyborg. So this is a dude who had CBMs in him. Presumably the scientists were, experimenting on him. So we dissect him and we find 2 faulty burnt-out bionics. So sometimes you get bionics from these corpses that are legitimate, you know. In this particular case, they're just faulty burnt-out bionics, and without certain mods, these are completely, I think they're completely useless, actually. Maybe one of you guys can correct me on that. It looks like I can, if I have enough first aid, I can mend it. Huh. That's interesting. But I don't know if mending a faulty burnt-out bionic actually does anything. I doubt it. I mean, if we wanted to, we could throw on our MP3 player, take off our noise-canceling headgear. They're completely useless without mods unless something changed them. Why am I able to mend it, though? Is that just like a total oversight? That wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, just based on everything else I've seen in this game. But yeah, I could pump my first aid up by, if I wanted to, I could pump my first aid up by slapping on makeshift bandages and just like watching it go up that way by applying a ton of them. But I'm not going to really bother with that, I don't think. I'll look it up later. But that is interesting that you're capable of doing some kind of thing to them, despite the fact that they're completely useless. Oh well. Put on the flashlight. Our goal is to still find an auto dock. We'll check out these barracks later. Really don't care about the guns inside. We're very happy. Hello, rat serum. If I ever want to become a rat man, I've got the technology. Some kind of break room. What's the problem, Adort? You don't want to be a rat man? Where's your sense of adventure? Okay, we just hacked into the library. I keep hearing sounds in here. From the southeast and below you hear, okay. Mom found the rat serum bros. What are we gonna do? Oh no. It's not good, man. Shikacha. Okay. All of these books might be useful. This is the library. 101 Home Repairs. That sounds handy. Computer Science 101 Mechanical Mastery. We already have that. Principles of Effective Communication. We didn't have that. Coming home with a bunch of books. We already have Robots for Fun and Profit, so we won't take any copies of books with us. How to succeed in business, we don't need that. Crafts for beginners, fine. Electronic circuit theory, that sounds like something we would like to have. 101 wrestling moves, that's a book that's right up my alley. Alrighty. Alrighty. Have a little book party. Bad rat serum. Yeah, it makes you want to blow up cats in that video game, right? It makes you want to have a really bad physics system in your game. How much does Bad Rats cost these days? Should I get me a copy? Okay. Just leave all this stuff here. Goes on sale for like 50 cents a lot. Honestly, those guys really won the lottery. You know, you build a game that's so bad, and you know it's bad. But, what the hell is this? Cleaner bot. Antlered Horror. This formerly majestic moose, let's see the full description. Formerly majestic moose has succumbed to the infection which is killing the world. Shiny green blowflies swarm the vast, suppurated patches of purulent flesh. Somebody was knees deep in a thesaurus when they wrote this, where its skin has sloughed away. Its remaining fur is black and matted with necrotic discharge. Okay. And there's just a bot cleaning the room while this zombie moose is trapped in there. I don't think we need to kill the zombie moose. I think we're going to leave him well enough alone. And hello! That is my first time just seeing one of these things. That is a nuclear bomb. A portable nuclear bomb that destroys such a radius that if I were to activate it and drop it, no, that would kill poor. That would destroy most of the lab, I think, but it would also kill poor fat bastard. Like, I think that if you want to, oh god, I just realized it says the casing of this item is cracked, revealing an ominous green glow. I am irradiated. Activated immediately. No, it'll kill us, man. Not even in a very interesting way. We need a soldering iron to tear this thing apart. Oh god. See, this is worrying because there's zombies in here. What if like a stray bullet shoots? We'll just shoot them all down. Oops, I didn't mean to destroy the cleaning bot. Looks like the zombies are killing the cleaning bot. Can we die from radiation, I wonder? First aid kit, I'll take that. Take the battery. Okay, so I want to take this thing with me. Since when do we not have enough carrying capacity? Radiation is deadly, so if I hang out next to this thing, it's going to kill me. Eventually. Because the thing is, I want to disassemble this thing and get the plutonium fuel cells, but then the plutonium is probably, the plutonium is probably bad for me to even be around it. Eventually, that sounds like that'll take a while. Let's drag this bomb out. Just casually walking around with a nuclear bomb. No big deal. People do this all the time. Okay. So, I think the stuff inside of this is going to be more useful to me than the mini-nuke itself, because what am I going to use a mini-nuke for? To give you an idea of the radius of this explosion, if I remember correctly, it's almost an entire map tile, so like right about this big, I guess, ish, this square I'm kind of showing off here. Maybe bigger. Once you put it in a trunk, it stops being irradiated. Well, let's just cut it apart. How long could it really take? And before, by cutting it apart, I end up triggering it. That would be a fun end to this character. Like, oops, I'm disassembling this nuke and it exploded on me. That would be interesting, I guess. It says we're very hungry, but we ate a ton of fish in the lab, so that seems unlikely. So the time is taking a really long time to tick by because of the Z level problem when there's like tons of enemies beneath the ground. But I can't imagine, I mean, it's already been like an hour. I can't imagine it takes that long to cut apart a nuke. And then we're going to have the plutonium cells, which I think later we can use those to power things that essentially last forever, so that's going to be cool. It's kind of weird that we just found this thing out in the open. Like, I've never seen that just on the ground before. 2 hours? Okay. I think it's already been 2 hours. This is weird. We're going into hour number 3 now. Change fire mode with a capital F. I will test that as soon as this is over. We're going into hour number 4. Is there a way to see how long it takes to disassemble something? Okay, here we go. You failed to recover plutonium fuel cell from the mini nuke. It was probably damaged. Well, that's annoying. We didn't even get... Huh. We didn't even get the thing that was irradiating us. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Okay, well, we'll throw all the parts in. That was kind of a waste of time. My bad. Where's the realism, Kevin? Come on, Kevin. Where's my realism? I was getting irradiated by something that didn't exist. How much cancer do you have now? Presumably a lot. Just says I'm irradiated, but there's no, it doesn't tell me how irradiated I am. Okay, somebody help me out. Where was the fish? It was in here, right? I just want to go gorge myself on some canned fish, and then we'll go take a nap in our car because we are tired. Pickled fish, there it is. Perfect. I assume my dude's going to be like throwing up all night or something from the radiation sickness, but I'm not actually sure. I don't think I've ever really been irradiated before, so I don't know how that works in this game. I think it just sort of goes away over time. It's fine. Okay. Well, I know that you can get mutated, you know, Fallout style, from being irradiated, but I've never experienced that. But the thing is, our dude has the robust genetics, right? So we should be able to, you know, shouldn't we be able to just get good mutations from being mutated? And from being irradiated? I wonder. I really should turn Z levels off so this moves faster, though. You know, because it's like, look how slowly the time is chunking along. I wonder if I can... No, I can't. I actually can't change it while it's waiting to wake up. That's interesting. Don't think the mini nuke was leaking all that bad compared to some of the other more radioactive places and things. Yeah, I saw a story on Reddit. A guy had he had found like a full-on nuclear reactor, I guess, and I don't know if that was from a mod or if that's in the base game. I've never seen such a thing, but I'm not super experienced. But it was interesting because he was describing the story where it was so hot. It was actually a temperature thing rather than just the irradiation. The radiation, rather, where he was like burning to death. So, interesting. Maybe we'll experience something like that at some point. And back to the slog here. Nothing really for me to pick up. Is this another barracks? That's another library. Unlock. Chemistry textbook, we already have that. Already have those. Pitching a tent, we don't have that. That will give us survival skill, I assume. Did I look at these already? I did. We already have that one, we already have that one. We already have that one. Definitely already have under the hood. Advanced physical chemistry, we don't have that. Okay, problem. There's rubble here. Oh wait, we can clear it. Okay, I guess we have a tool. Maybe my pickaxe is letting me do this? We need to clear this or else we can't, haul, this stuff. I definitely don't want to take this, these nails and glass shards and things along for the ride. Wait a minute, what happened? Where's the books? Oh, they're up here. Somehow I stopped hauling them. Tempted to kill that moose just because it's making so much noise. All right, so we left the book up there. Why don't we just grab this stuff too? Take it up so I don't forget it. We'll grab the CBMs later if we ever find the auto dock that we're looking for. What is that? Bruised giant web spider corpse. Oxygen tank? Huh, okay. Interesting. What's this? Another bionic vault. Yes, bypass. Manifest. Tons of CBMs in here as well. Unlock entrance, hack into the system, and we get zapped. Bionic vault is more defended, I guess. Perhaps. Let's just use antiseptic. We have a lot of it, and this will help us heal a little bit faster. Not bad. Just do the very pores, you know. Turn those into something a little bit better. Well, actually, some of my bandages were completely gone. All right, so we can pickaxe our way in. It's no big deal. I feel pretty confident we're not going to get owned by a turret. Whoa, hold on. Stop mining. Turn off the flashlight. Don't waste too much charge, you know. I mean, if there was a turret in the other one, I don't know if it's like guaranteed to have a turret in every single one. I think we'll be okay. Let's turn our flashlight back on. Yeah, there's nothing. We're good to go. So, I mean, we have all the CBMs we could possibly want. Well, that's not exactly true, but... Integrated toolset is a fun one, because you can do welding and things like that just with your body, based off of your internal power. What is a dosimeter? We can find out how radiated we are. Seems like we need that. We can charge up via UPS. That's cool. And actually, all of this is kind of lame. That's just like a clock. But okay. Seems like there's an awful lot of CBMs in this game. Oh, we're thirsty. Let's run out to the car. We have a big tank of water in here. Guess I'm glad I brought, all those materials to the lab. So I'm feeling a little ripped off. I mean, I thought that laboratories were supposed to be super tough, but outside of the turrets, kind of feels more like a treasure trove, Like, I really don't think we've had any kind of real challenge yet, have we? Although maybe I'm just missing it. One thing I can do, by the way, to get kind of an idea of what's going on is I can zoom out. I mean, look how huge this place is. You could make this thing half the size of what it is and probably not suffer from a game design standpoint. I guess Southways is the only area we haven't explored yet. Other than downstairs, of course. It's a giant sleeping chamber, I guess. And what, another prisoner containment place. Do I even want to bother trying to open this thing up? I guess. Login successful, unlock entrance, fine. And it shocks me. That's actually adding up the amount of damage these things are doing to me. I didn't want to see the prisoners anyway. Barracks entrance, do not bypass security. So we're downstairs now. So here's the top floor, the surface. Downstairs is where we were. And downstairs one more time. At the very bottom of these labs, there's some kind of like finale where there can be a lot of cool stuff depending on, well, it's random, but there's a few different preset ones basically. Like you can find a bunch of bionics, you can find like a laser rifle, I think. You can find, spoiler alert, by the way, you can find, I was just looking at the wiki for this stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can find. There's one that's just like a gigantic auto dock area, I think. It'd be pretty cool if we found that one. I think there's always a bunch of really, really tough robots guarding all this crap. And hello, there's just a CBM. Perhaps we should have made a bigger backpack so that we could actually carry some more of this stuff. Let's open this up. What's in here? Nothing. Mechanical winch, fine. Just a bunch of crates, nothing really interesting in them. What's that? Signal receiver. Spring. Kevlar plate. I mean, it's useful stuff, I guess, but that's not what we came here for. And honestly, that's kind of the siren. It's like the song of this game, really. So once you get to a certain point, it's like there's all these items on the screen and you just don't care about any of them, which I think is a problem from a game design standpoint that a lot of I think a lot of games suffer from that sort of issue, where it's like, oh shit, that's bad. We didn't have safe mode on. We're totally gonna get shot because I walked. I bet we're gonna die. Holy shit, we're dead. I forgot to have safe mode on and we just straight up died. So that's CDDA. One minor mistake, and you play for like 20, 30, 40, 50 hours. And probably, unless you have power armor, I think, maybe. And you guys can correct me on this because I'm newer to the game than you, but like I think that unless you have this incredibly, incredibly rare power armor, if you make one minor mistake and you go near one of these turrets, you just die instantly. So, seems a little bit unforgiving. I think that maybe from an interface standpoint, you could do some things like maybe have safe mode automatically go back on after a fight. You know, I mean, some kind of like quality of life type change, you know, could maybe make this feel a little more fair. I knew this was possible, of course, and it's not to say that it's like, I mean, of course I misplayed or whatever, fine. That's definitely true. But with that said, the placement of, there's just a lot of little things about this that kind of irk me, like the placement of the turrets. There's no indication that a turret is coming up, right? And in real life, there would not just be random turrets in these hall. I mean, this is a place where people were working, right? So for a game that's focused on realism, I'm actually quite confused because, like, you know, random scientists are not going to get gunned down by turrets placed in kind of, you know, there would be like a warning, kind of like, oh, there's a turret ahead, have your badge present, that kind of thing. But instead, as far as I know, I haven't looked at the code, but just from playing the game, it seems like the turrets just sort of spawn in random locations in the lab. But that's the game. And to be honest, I mean, CDDA, if you took out all of the grind, if you took out maybe a lot of the crafting, or at least like a lot of the build-up to the crafting, like the leveling, I think that CDDA is a game that is actually served by almost random deaths in a way that DCSS is not, if you've seen my Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup streams. And I think you could really make that work as a mechanic, but because it takes so long to build a character up, I don't think this kind of thing is fun right now in the context of that. It's especially great when there's a turret right beside a bedroom. Yeah, you wake up in the morning as a scientist and then you get shot. Makes a lot of sense. Lord of All Cheese, thank you for the heads up. That is a step in the right direction for sure. If that exists, he says you can set safe mode to automatically turn on after X amount of turns. So that's, you know, that's kind of like the autosave feature. That's good. Thumbs up there. It's not exactly perfect, I don't think, to solve these kinds of problems, but it is a step in the right direction. What should our last words be? Fuck turrets, perhaps? Is that a good set of last words? So, this is interesting, though. I'm going to talk about this for a second. Something about this game... Fuck Jennies. Yeah. So something that's interesting about this game is that if I were to start a new character... Okay, so let me... I think I'm going to actually end the stream, but like, let me just show you. So right now I have a couple of worlds. I was testing Cataclysm, and then I have Rose Crypto where we were playing. So if I make a new game, let's just do a random character in Rose Crypto, the world where we were in. It actually keeps the world the exact same. So all the items, all the vehicles, like everything is exactly where I left it. Anything that I've done to modify my world sticks around. The only thing that's different is like the time, maybe. What? Hollis Wong, female, facial hair, short boxed beard. Someone... Alright, I'm not going to comment on that. Just gonna... There we go. But anyway, so the point is, like, you can actually gather a bunch of items and just, like, move on with your next character and sort of continue the story, I guess. which is kind of interesting because I guess what that actually means is that like the books that you leave lying around can just jumpstart your okay, we'll name this character Ma'am. Good point. All right, so you can like jumpstart your character if you go find your old location, and then just like go read books for 30 days, I suppose. And it can be more about, I guess, like building up a building up like a location or like a base than building up a character. You know, so that's another interesting thing about it, and that's one of the reasons that I believe that the game, um, you know, might be okay for it to have sort of instant deaths, unavoidable deaths. But with that said, um, I don't know if it makes a lot of sense. I mean, one thing that it doesn't handle, and I don't know how it could even how you could even code this. Like for example, this start time-wise is like months later. But if I left a bunch of stuff lying around and I started a new character that didn't start months later, notice how it's winter, and I started back in the spring, all the items would still be, you know, it doesn't keep track of the time like that. Everything would just be where I left it. Um, so I mean, just logically, realistically, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Um, you know, and you're obviously your guy would not know to go exactly to wherever it is you were hanging out. But anyway, we've got Ma'am here, who starts apparently with a crossbow. I was a bionic prepper, so we have a bunch of, seems like a pretty strong randomized character. God damn, we're addiction resistant for our traits. We started with some pretty good skills, and we have a bunch of bionics built in. Integrated tool set, so we can weld things. Aero evaporator, what's that? Draws moisture from the surrounding air. We can just make water whenever we want, I guess. Damn. Mini flamethrower, we can just make fire. We have a flashlight built in. Metabolic interchange, so like if we eat, then we can turn that into power. I mean, that's really good. Seems really good. 5 strength is, yeah, the low strength sucks, but considering that we have a crossbow, which even has a mod attached to it of some sort, shoulder strap, I don't know what that does, but it's got one. Do we even need that? Although we do start in winter, so the fact that it's winter means you have like really hard zombies to start out with. So I don't think I'm going to play through this because it's, well, I don't know, I guess I haven't been streaming for that long. What do you guys think? Should I keep going? Should we see what's going on with Ma'am? And yeah, I think you're right, Eat My Ferret. I think that that probably is a holdover from Whale's Cataclysm. Keep going? Alright guys. Sounds good. Oh, we have a machete as well. Alright, let's see how Ma'am is doing. So apparently, here's the story. When the apocalypse broke out, you were funneled into a nearby shelter. Here you have lived, never leaving, lest the unknowns of the outside world hurt you. Supplies are running low, and for the first time since the Cataclysm, you will be forced to face the outside world. Yeah, we could see if we could find our old location. That'd be kind of cool. Just go explore that lab some more. There's a wetsuit hood. So we have 20 aluminum broadhead bolts. 20 shots, we have a machete to fight with. It's not bad. I'm going to wield. Yeah, it is winter, so we're going to have to be careful. In fact, I don't really have the clothing to not be cold in the winter. So waffle iron. These books are just for fun. So we're in our little shelter. I could turn on my flashlight, but that drains energy. There's some broth here to eat. The marshmallows are they're just rotten. Why would I let my rotten marshmallows, why would I let them go rotten? Walk around in a blankie. We could walk around in a blankie. Oh man, a wood axe. Hell yeah. 20 damage bashing, 14 cut. I mean, our strength is low, but So this water pump does not make clean water, but we can just make that with our fingers, so I don't think we need to bother with that. Hello. Headlamp. It needs a battery, but we could save ourselves, you know. I still don't know how to use this water purifier. Last time someone told me it was that the water purifier item is completely not usable. I'm not sure. I'm going to pour into the adjacent keg east. So now, okay. Now it's this keg is 240 units full. It's rotten because of the winter start. Yeah, I think so too, Lord of all cheese. It's a fluff item. Because sometimes the water heaters start with fully clean water, but I don't know. I think you should be able to power it and make it do something, you know? Okay, so I'm just exploring the shelter I started in. Some aspirin, we'll take that. No shortage of rags here, like a bunch of beds. We're going to be super radical and wear some sunglasses. Boom! It's a pretty cool looking guy. I don't think I actually have a hat. Can't wear that with other headgear. Alright, well, we'll drop the golf cap then. Oh yeah, we have a boonie hat on. Okay. Some dog food, some meat soup. There's some food in here. Okay, a backpack. That's really important. Some chickens, coconut milk. Said we're out of food, but we have a little something left. Central air filter, I assume another fluff item. You should use the dog food to find and befriend a dog. That sounds like a quest that I would like to undertake, so we'll take it. I would like to have a dog friend. This baseball cap here, some rubble down here. Okay, that's the way out. 2 funnels, hand crank charger, that's cool. Flashlight. Can I unload this thing? Can't unload. Okay, so the flashlight doesn't actually have a battery in it. None of this stuff has batteries. Hydrochloric acid, why would this be here? It's a hoe, an ankle sheath. It's time to start farming. And before he eats the dog food, trying to tame a dog. That'll probably happen. The activate button. Who knows? Who knows how to actually use it? Actually, I'm more afraid of just like dying as I leave this place. What's our skills again? Let's see. We have 2 rifle skill and two marksmanship, so we're not terrible with this crossbow already. You know, we start out pretty decent. Survival 4, fabrication 3, cooking 3. I mean, we can survive, I think. I thought these places had water that you could fish in, so you could just like stay in here forever, but apparently not. Alright, it is snowy. Welcome to the cold. Ah, it's blinding. My eyes. I'm getting snow blind, but not in the game, in real life. Okay, look at the map. Some houses off to the west. Farm field and a road. None of this looks familiar to me. I have no memory of this place. You know. Now, if I had been clever, if I had been more clever than I was, I could have looked at the coordinates in the bottom right, and I could have had some idea of where my last character was. But barring loading up, you know, the VOD or whatever, and taking a look at some point when I was on the map screen, that's not going to happen. But I don't think we ever had this on the map. Homeless camp, some fields, forest. Probably heading towards civilization is the right move if I wanted to find my old base. But we have to be wary of the fact that it's so cold out here. Also, there is a skeletal skeletal doge over here, not the kind of doge that we're trying to make friends with, and I think perhaps he already noticed us. I'm not sure how it is that we're still comfortable. I'm not wearing really that much winter clothes. I guess I have a trench coat on, but let's shoot him. That did not hit him. Close the door. Oh god, he's right here. Am I just going to die to this dog immediately? No way. There's no way out of the shelter. This is a one-way in, one-way out type situation here. I may have to set a fire to kill this thing, actually. Why don't we grab this heavy stick? Some real early game combat right here. Okay. There he is. He's right here. Drop the heavy stick. Start running. Okay, I'm going to have to turn on... Start a fire where? There. So we use our mini flamethrower. He's burning, presumably. And then we'll shoot current aim. That missed, but he died. Great. Pulp the corpse, take the stick away. Get my bolts. That worked out. Sucked some bionic power, but it worked out. Now the shelter's on fire? Oh, that shouldn't happen, should it? I thought it's made of stone. Is that possible? This is all rock, man. Nothing can catch on fire. I guess if it spread to these shrubs, that'd be pretty bad. Anyway, is there like any vehicles anyway? It seems like we're in the middle of nowhere. So I'm not sure how we're even gonna solve this little problem. I guess if we could make it out to the road. I tell you what, I don't know exactly how the cold system works in this game, but I do know that I don't want to get caught out in the middle of nowhere, freezing my ass off. So just for maximum smartness, we're going to wear this blanket around us, get real snug like this. We're going to put on these wool gloves on top of our fingerless gloves. Alright, I guess I should probably have some food for the road. I'll have some coconut milk. This stuff is going bad anyway, so... Chickens... How is it that my dude is overweight despite having been living in a shelter? Don't I have internal climate control? Oh, I do! I do! I can turn that on. It costs 1 PU though for... But that should kind of recharge itself based on my metabolic interchange, right? And we can make all the water we want. I gotta remember that. So we'll eat our meat soup, have some sports drink. I think that's all the food we have in here. There's a small box of cornmeals, but unless I want to try to make cornbread. Can I not cook with my integrated... No, I need a tool with cooking as well. Because we could make cornbread for the road. Drink this broth as well, just kind of charging up here. Q cook. Needs to have food cooking too. What can we make? I don't want to have to, like, you know, farm up a bunch of crap on stream again. We're not doing that ever again. We're just gonna play quicker games now. Okay, it's kind of funny. We could make this, except it doesn't have welding for some reason, like regular welding as a requirement. So even if we had the frame in the middle, we can't use our integrated tool set to make a crucible. But a stone pot. It's probably the easiest one if we could just get some rocks and we could just make the string real quick. Yeah, I think that's... no, actually a brazier is the easiest one. Alright. Let's deconstruct this thing to get some sheet metal. At least I think we will. Yeah, there we go. Alright, make a brazier. That only has food cooking 1 though. Damn. Makeshift pot. Food cooking 2. There it is. Okay. Cornbread time. Perfect. We will eat all of our delicious cornbreads. We will not eat the dog food. And now we're going on a little wizard quest. Why do I say wizard quest? Because, well, just look at me. I'm the ultimate wizard in my robes. Okay. So our goal is to make it to the road. We're looking for a vehicle. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Those are Migos. Those are not zombies. Those are aliens. Yeah, GG, maybe. This is an alien creature of uncertain origin. Its shapeless pink body bears numerous sets of paired appendages of unknown function and a pair of ribbed membranous wings, which seem to be quite useless. Its odd, vaguely pyramid-shaped head bristles with numerous wavering antennae, and simply gazing upon the unnatural beast fills you with a primordial dread. I am filled with a primordial dread. Our crossbow is capable of killing these guys, but it's not super likely. I mean, I can go hide in my shelter, but I think I'm going to have to go on the fire plan again. And even then, probably still die to these guys. Like, we could run for the road, but we would definitely run out of stamina. Oh my god, why did there have to be 2 of them? Time for a sweet Diplo roll. I don't think that's possible to have diplomacy with the aliens. Okay, so check it out. I wonder if I set these shrubs on fire and like just create a huge fire out here. Will that destroy my shelter? Probably. Probably. Oh man. This isn't even good because like I'm gonna be... Oh, this is crap. We'll drop the heavy sticks. We're going to use the flamethrower. I actually screwed up and took the dog and put it in the way. So we'll move that. We'll close the door. Are these guys smart enough to open doors? Alright, so Migos are super creepy. Also, let's turn off our flashlight. It's draining our power. Migos are super creepy. They will repeat words that they've heard before. So something else that it killed said, "It's faster than us." And so they said that, I guess, just now. And then, of course, they were being experimented on and captured by the scientists, I think. So there's things that the scientists said as well, as you can see. I'm just kind of waiting for them to burn to death, hopefully. From the northeast, you hear a klaxon blaring. I wonder if they're just imitating that sound too. But, yeah, I don't know what else I can do against these guys except, like, stick around in my shelter and try to get, like, a pipe shotgun or something together, right? Which we don't have the skills to do right now. But even that is questionable. Like, the crossbow might even be better. Like, how would we even get the ammunition? We don't have any. It's not possible. Surprised they aren't just opening the door. Can we... I'm going to shoot at this and see if he goes through the fire. Oh no, he realized he can go this way. They're smashing the door. I'm going to go downstairs for a minute. Get the heavy stick. Oh, he's... Okay, he's in the door. I'm going to go downstairs. Will he chase me? These really good Z levels. From the northwest and above. Something tells me this is a little bugged because it thinks it's over here, and I bet that they're still... In fact, we're going to peek upstairs. Yeah, see, they're still here, although I guess maybe the other one's over there. So I have to wonder, how do we deal with this situation other than just dying? Can we kill this dude with a crossbow, I wonder? Is it possible? Can find out. Okay, he clawed me. I want to take him down. He doesn't want to follow me for some reason, which is both a blessing and a curse. Let's drop the backpack. Let's drop the machete, maybe? We have 5 strength, though. Let's drop the backpack. Let's drop both backpacks. Apparently I had 2 on. And let's drop the blanket. And here's what we're going to do. I mean, yeah, I should probably get out the machete. Which, still does 26 damage. I mean, how fast does it attack? 89? What about that wood axe? It attacks way slower. So yeah, the machete's the move here. But we also want to set this thing on fire. So let's do that. Oh, it's gone. Okay. Okay, we'll drop the heavy stick. Okay. Now we're going to set the fire. Any flamethrower right there. We are blinded. He hit me right in my eyeball, I guess. But we have to keep fighting him now. Unless we want to go downstairs. And here we go. We're doing damage. We nicked him for 8 damage with machete. And as far as I know, I don't think Migos are immune to fire. Oh, man. I guess the machete's really, really strong. We just kicked his ass. Okay, he doesn't want to go into the fire now. And that's fine with me. I'm just going to shoot his ass with this crossbow. I'm okay with this. Kill the other one this way. Oh, he's moving away. Move the ammo, or rather the fuel out of the way here. Pull this stuff down here. Well, we killed Amigo. You know, that's something. Can we, is it possible for us to turn him into food, I wonder? Just do a quick butchery and see if the things... Nope, tainted meat. Migos are not edible, apparently. And I know that skeletal dogs are not edible. I could turn the fat into like lamp oil or something, but... I'm gonna need to close, gonna need to get rid of that fire. We'll need water for that, or to wait a good long time. I'm just gonna pour into container, canteen. I think we have a pot as well. See if this will put out the fire. Puts that out. doesn't put that one out because there's sticks. Okay, there we go. Took out the fuel and now it's not burning anymore. He's coming back. Oh, stop reloading. Yeah, okay, he moved faster than I thought he would. Machete time. Drop the crossbow, and damn, he is just kicking my ass. Holy shit, our left arm already broke. I'm gonna move the burnt heavy stick over. Because apparently the only way we can kill these is with fire. What? There we go. Alright, he's on fire now. Okay. That was painful. So that'll be, I guess that'll be an interesting way to start this out. I mean, we killed 2 amigos. I mean, what a day. Come outside, it's the dead of winter. We get our left arm broken. My torso's almost busted. Like, we were just attacked by 2 vicious aliens, you know, right off the bat. I mean, I think we did... I think we did okay? I don't know, it's hard to say. But, are we capable of making a splint? We are. Happy fun day. Yeah, no, that's rough, man. That's really rough. I don't know. I don't know about all that, man. It's kind of a bad time. Tempted to haul this stuff. Let's put this in inventory. Let's haul this stuff out here. Suddenly we're going to start working outside because that's where we can have free light. We're also going to fill up those containers again, plastic canteen, so I can put out that fire up there. Oh, we'll put on our backpack, and our other backpack, and our blanket. And pick up the bolts and we wield our... Oh, we're too weak. We're too weak to wield the crossbow with only one arm. Right, we have a broken arm. So much like the fat bastard and his legs being broken, our first experience with Mam here is very unfortunate. You know, with a broken arm, which is going to stop us from doing an awful lot. Anyway, we'll pull this stuff up. We can craft right here. Another thing we can do, by the way, is we can go upstairs. And right now there is snow here, but you could actually grow things on top of the shelter if you wanted to. Happy fun day. Yeah. So I was going to make something. I was going to make... I know I was going to cut up one of these blankets to get some thread and rags. We're going to make a splint. Probably going to make some bandages as well. You would think that there would be... you would think that there would be a first aid kit in this shelter, but perhaps not. Too weak to wield makeshift bandage 20 with only one hand. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Alright, okay, we'll do it at this table. Outrageous. Outrageous. I need a table to craft on, I guess. But then I have to burn my bionic power. That's really obnoxious. All right, work on craft. Okay, makeshift bandages. So we can use these. Not going to do anything for our busted up arm. Can help the rest of our stuff. Now the splints, arm splint. We have the rags. We do not have the long string, which we're going to have to make. We do have the heavy stick, I think. Let's turn off our cranial flashlight. Splint. Yep, we have it. We have everything. We just need the string. We can make that if we can get 300 thread. I wonder. 12 withered plants. We can get that together pretty fast, I think. Give me my machete. Let me just smash up some of these things. Get these withered plants, right, which sometimes drop. When you destroy a shrub. Much faster way to get cordage. How many more do we need? Splint. Okay, it says 12 withered plants of 3, so not making very fast progress here. We're also getting wet from this cold winter rain, which my character does not like one bit. Your breath gives out. Wait till you catch your breath. But hey, this is that's what I'm talking about, man. Cataclysm. I actually set out to play a random character and not do much crafting this time. But I guess sometimes you just can't avoid it. Particularly if you end up breaking an arm, apparently, in the early game. Kind of just wanted to run from house to house, you know, playing some kind of crackhead character or something. Perhaps I should have not randomed. Okay, can we make the splint? Almost. Almost. We need one more plant. But hey, maybe the game will be kind to us after those Migos, you know? Breath goes out. Wait until the stamina's back. There we go. Okay, with the power of some planks, or some big sticks, I guess, and some plants, we're going to make an arm splint. Let me guess. It's too heavy for me to wield with one hand. It didn't actually start crafting. Wield and activate the in progress arm splint. There it is. Yep. Same problem as before. Boy, we're going to have a hard time making anything with a broken arm. We're going to need a crafting table. Okay, arm splinted. We're not fighting anything like this. Hey, Pro Man, how you doing? We got shot to death on our fat bastard. R.I.P. morbidly obese island prison fat bastard. We played a random start, which plopped us down as a bionic prepper in a shelter in winter. So that's a fun time. we'll see exactly how that works out for us, but the way it's worked out so far is that, yeah, no, we were morbidly obese before. We had a totally different character. It was, we were morbidly obese, we started on an island prison, and it was spring. That guy died to a turret. Now we're this character. His name is Ma'am. For some reason it had created a female with a beard. So I changed the sex over to be a little bit more representative of the norm. And yeah, I don't know. We started with 5 strength, which is no good on its own, but you know, we had a machete, we had a really good crossbow, and we immediately got set upon by 2 Migos. Yeah, the internal climate control is quite good. We haven't frozen at all here, so apparently we're immune to winter, which is cool, but I'm still quite worried. Now I don't think we have enough food to survive in the shelter for very long, so let's try to do what we were trying to do before, which is make it out to this road. And if we see any bad guys, then maybe we'll book it back to our shelter, I guess. Okay, we've made it to the road, kind of. Spotted a decayed pouncer. Safe mode is on. Okay. Is that a cat? Oh, it's a cougar. Oh no. Oh no. Has he noticed me? That is a mutated cougar. Pick some pine cones for pine nuts. Or cattails for flower. Yeah, that would be a move. There is a swamp relatively close. My instinct was to go look for cars on the road. You know? Because my guy cannot, well, he's not very good in combat right now, so he really needs to be able to escape stuff. You can just pick from pines in the forest along the way and haul the stuff over. Interesting. I agree that that is probably the optimal thing to do, now that I know that's possible, since forests are everywhere. But I'm trying to keep it a little more interesting, so... I mean, it's definitely possible to survive in the woods. Oh, this thing was right here again. I may have just screwed myself over. I'm going to drop this cardboard box. I'm going to use my flamethrower. And he may very well just die to the fire, hopefully. Yep, there we go. This is my patented set things on fire in front of me strategy that doesn't require you to be very good at combat to to kill things. We were almost dead already. But yeah, if I was trying to like play this game optimally, of course I would go into the woods and grab the pines and try to make my way towards the swamp and get some cattails and whatnot. And I think maybe next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an... I saw this guy posting about, he called it the In a Woods start, where he was just butt-ass naked to start with, had no tools, had no nothing, 0 skills whatsoever, did not allow himself to use modern technology, anything pre-Cataclysm, and you know, he's thriving. So I thought that might be an interesting thing to try to duplicate, to try to stream. Also a town. But there's zombies in the town, and they're upgraded winter zombies. I was hoping to just travel along this road northways. After meeting my first set of enemies in the winter, I think I just wanted to not experience that again. There's some crows. There is a cabin over here I could check out, I guess. Sling for ranged combat. Yeah, we're no longer able to... we actually had a crossbow that we started with, but with a broken arm we can't use it. But yeah, what I was trying to say was... I think that almost any character, like this game is set up in a way that like if you wanted to, you could go into the woods and just sort of survive. But I think without putting some kind of restriction on yourself, it's less interesting. You know, like the thing the guy did where he wasn't letting himself use any pre-Cataclysm technology. I thought that was really cool. And here's what I was looking for. An abandoned vehicle. It has gasoline in it. It does not have an engine. Okay, but it does have gasoline, so we could siphon that later. I've neglected to grab a rubber hose. That was a mistake on my part. The woods are a bitch for clothing. Yeah, he was having that problem. He said that for him, rags are a luxury item. That if he wanted to make rags, he would have to knit them himself using cattail fibers, and you really don't get that many cattail fibers, plant fibers out of it. However, I have some ideas on how you could improve that situation, depending on exactly what the rules of pre-Cataclysm technology are. Because I discovered that during a test, I discovered that if you fight Triffids, which are of course a Cataclysm monster, if you kill a Triffid and then you fully butcher a Triffid, it's a plant monster, right? You get a ton of fiber. So if you're allowed to do that for that challenge, well, that's one way to go about it. I thought I saw some acorns. Blackjack, oak, willow tree. That's got to be a pine tree. We'll pick the pine tree. Can we just eat the pine cone? How do you even get the nuts out of the pine cone? In real life, I think to get pine nuts, you need a special machine. Can't do anything interesting with the pine cone. Hey, Turbo Cripple, what's up? Anyway, we're going to try to... Here's a farmhouse, I guess. Farm barn, there's probably a truck in there. Although there could be zombies messing it up. What was... Did I just see a zombie soldier? Is this a... What is a zombie soldier? No, we can make pine nuts. Yep, we can do that. We happen to randomly start with a lot of survival. Huh. I may be forced to live in the woods. As much as I was trying to avoid it without a functioning car. I think we have 0 mechanics. I wonder where on the world map this character is in relation to where Fat Bastard was. Because if I could get his old stuff, that would be just really quite nice. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to take this stuff back to base. Drop the pine bows. We don't need those. Pine cones, though. Dude, imagine surviving only on pine nuts. That's the stuff they make pesto out of, in case you're not aware. No pine tea for extra health. I didn't know you needed bows for that. I'm a bit of a novice when it comes to in the woods living. Our last guy started in a prison and then found his way to a mansion, which really jump-started the run to a large degree because he found a pike in there and a bunch of plate armor and like a great helm. So at that point I was able to kill every single zombie I came across. Of course, it wasn't a winter start like this, so we had very easy zombies to fight. The only reason I died is that I turned a corner without safe mode on in a laboratory and just died instantly to a turret. Counted your first collapsed tower in game, complete with flesh walls and explosive poisonous spiders. Oh, that sounds awesome, man. There was a collapsed office tower in my game, and I was gonna check it out, and I didn't on the Fat Bastard run. Now we're just out of luck, man. Health stat nowadays is moving like a roadrunner towards 0, making it meaningless. Yeah, I have noticed that. Does it 0 is neutral, right? Like I have noticed that it's like you don't stick around with bad or good health for very long. Like it's like you have to constantly be eating tons of bread, which for some reason in this game is healthy, but in real life is going to make you fat if you eat a bunch of white bread. But yeah, like on my last character, I ate a bunch of bread. I noticed that like the next day I got the really good message about my health. You can go to 200 plus, nice. Okay, we have dragged our pine bows back to the shelter. This is going to use some CBM energy, but ironically, eating stuff will actually fix that, so. Wow, pine nuts have a ton of calories. Goddamn, 202 per? That's really good. Seems like someone in the dev team must like bread. Yes. You could say that. Alright, I tell you what I'm going to do, is we are going to deconstruct. We're actually going to take this tank outside. Too weak to wield the metal tank with only one arm. Okay, pour into container. Metal tank. This whole one-arm thing is really gonna be a pox. 17 pine needle tea. I'll make 6 of it. 7 of it. You have nothing to store it in. Hold on, that's a lie. I have my plastic canteen. Oh, it's because I made more than what's in it. That's fine. I'll drink what's left over. Okay. No way. Can we really not wield this with one hand? Oh, it's this 4 strength, man. Pine trees overpowered. Trying to live healthy is insanely bad. Yeah. Make a table up here. That's a good idea. 4 planks, large wooden sheet. I can just tell you what I can do is I can deconstruct. I can just deconstruct some of the stuff down here. Okay, we have the technology. Should have done that a while ago. I just was being stubborn, basically. Of course, now it's dark, and I can't make what I wanted to make without needing to use my light anyway. But you know what? I'm going to do that. So we drink the pine needle tea, which honestly is probably better than drinking water. You get quenched from it, and it also gives you health, I think. I need to try some pine needle tea in real life. Now I'm curious how that tastes. Probably not very good, but maybe. I like the taste of pesto, so. Then again, pine needles probably taste different than pine nuts. Will you get a vitamin deficiency in this game? I wonder if you only eat pine nuts and drink the pine tea. Basically nerfed veggies into oblivion and decided to give nuts a nice amount of health and calories. Yeah, I remember the old meme from what I was reading about this game was to simply was to simply go for wild vegetables, which you could get from shrubs, right? From just like basic shrubs. Is it? Oh, it must get dark earlier in winter. I didn't think that they would account for that. But yeah, it's only 6 p.m. and it's dark. Interesting. But yeah, I agree that does sound like they just kind of shifted the issue around a little bit from one part of the forest to the other. I mean, in real life, if you go and try to live in the forest with nothing, you better have some amazing skills if you want to do that. But while veggies had 2/3 of the food value a piece of meat had, that sounds pretty good. Well, still, I mean, if you can kill stuff, here's the secret thing: is just go find some aliens. Like, go kill yourself the fungaloids, and you have all the nutrition you'd ever need because they have those little liquid sacs in them, right? And then there's like the triffids, which are also edible. You know, I don't know if you're going to end up with a vitamin deficiency doing that or not, but I mean, like if you find some triffids, if you find a triffid grove, just lure off the basic triffids, and you can just like kill them, and you know, you get like a billion triffid stalks or whatever, which are edible. And then you know with the fungaloid sacs as well, it's like you just kind of have to find a group of these guys. We have not found any such thing, but does this character have any mechanics, I wonder? No. I want to build a little... You guys remember the crappy little cart I built on Fat Bastard? I want to do that exact same thing. It seems like the vehicle is the magical... it's the magical tool, man, that leads to safety, because it lets you move faster than the things that are coming to own you. But anyway, it's kind of late now. It's actually midnight my time, and I think I'm going to stop the stream here. Went a little further than I planned on, starting a new character, but that's fine. It's pretty fun. Perhaps next time, I'll probably play some DCSS next time I stream, but next time I do CDDA, I think we'll like go exploring. We'll find a way, you know. I may fix my arm off screen, but the goal I think for this character is to find Fat Bastard's old residence and take up ownership of all those wonderful books, you know, and of course the mansion where we were living. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming by my stream. Always a good time. But until next time, I am signing out.